Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday to all. Oh, come on, what? There we go.
What happened last week, a week ago today, would the Republicans in the House and the Senate move to impeach him if they could? The answer is yes. Well, the answer is always yes. The Democrats will always go against President Trump, and you had no problem with President Trump up until this week. So what happened?
What you'll hear a lot of conservatives say, though, the ones who are still pro-Trump, don't forget about all the good things that he did. The policy, the immigration, the economy.
As we
what
said
he did
before,
for peace in the Middle East.
Right, as we said last week was the riot and the looting of the U.S. Well, there were so many things that have happened, including the first impeachment, the second, the phone call, this and that. There's both sides to this issue, and the bottom line is, in 5-6 days is another president. There is so much to do in the middle of a pandemic. How does it help to impeach someone who's going to be at his resort? It makes no sense. Who is leaving anyway? So a guy's packed, he's walking out of the house, and you go, okay, you're fired. Okay, I've left. How does that help? I think the members of Congress just want ultimately some accountability.
Karl Rove said, even if he's not impeached, he believes this could give the people who don't like his style an opportunity to separate the party from him.
And you could separate all his supporters from the party.
Correct.
Who didn't march on who don't march, work on 100 hours. Who say, I'm really proud to have voted for him, disappointed how he acted, but now Mitch McConnell's telling them to go jump in a lake.
That's why they're going to have to find a candidate for 2024 that allows both sides to be happy. You need that staunch Trump supporter, but you also need the one that voted for Trump but might feel the way that you're talking about with the riots. And so, yeah, they're in a pickle because the Republican Party is fractured right now. All right, let's talk about this. On to another Fox News alert. The world's largest video platform is suspending the president.
All right, YouTube saying, quote, after review and in light of concerns about the ongoing potential for violence, we remove new content uploaded to Donald J. Trump's channel for violating our policies. It now has its first strike and is temporarily prevented from uploading new content for a minimum of 7 days. If he gets a second strike, he gets a 2-week suspension, and if he gets 3 strikes, it will be permanent. And of course, YouTube joins a number of tech giants, these monster monopolies that are imposing bans on the president's accounts in the wake of that Capitol Hill riot 1 week ago. And as we have been talking this morning, David Marcus from the Federalist writes in the pages of the New York Post today, he goes through how there are no consistent standards. Twitter has got all sorts of terrible things online at this moment, whereas Parler was shut down by Twitter and not by Twitter, by Amazon and Apple and Google because of their content from a week ago. But as Mr. Marcus points out, it's just one of those things. The big tech giants are not going to let any sort of aggression. So they're using what happened last week to punish the president. With us just about 2 hours ago, talking about, rather an hour ago, talking about a real social media censorship, which only seems to be a conservative. Used to be protect social media companies like Meta are very small, unlike these big businesses, Facebook and otherwise. So it applies that market dominance test. If you are dominant marketplace, by the First Amendment rights of Americans. And if you cede members and others' First Amendment rights to free speech, then it creates
Hey,
a private
Kelly,
right
how are
cause of
you
action
today?
against that company in court. They should not have liability protection.
I'm doing
If
good.
they're acting like newspapers
Doing
and
good.
acting like Fox News or
Good to
others
see you
in
too.
editorializing content, then they shouldn't have liability protection.
I just watched
And
your
what is interesting about the Congress
premiere that you had.
is he's a Republican, but there are a number of Democrats who feel exactly the same way. These, these monster monopolies, as I've been calling them the last couple of days, they've gotten so big. Section 230 originally was installed so that they could grow. This was back when they were nothing. Now they are the biggest companies in the world. They do not need the protection, provided they moderate, and they take the mantle of publishers rather than just as platforms.
Well, the cover of New York Post says what Twitter won't censor.
You're welcome.
They go through the double standard here of what is allowed and what isn't allowed. They're shutting down conservative posts, yet they're allowing
I
one
watch
guy
a lot of
writing on
different
there, and I think
videos,
this is
so.
trending too. Is it trending that
But
kill Trump?
I've seen
Hashtag
your work.
kill Trump, and they're allowing that with a big smiley face with hearts around the smiley face. I mean, that is hate. I don't care if you're a Democrat or you're a Republican. If you didn't vote for him, that's hateful. If you go on and read some of these comments, who are these people that? How do they? It's just so unbelievable what is allowed and then what isn't.
Uneven standard, right?
It is. It's so inconsistent.
Speaker Pelosi tweeted in 2017, our election was hijacked. There is no question. Congress has a duty to hashtag protect our democracy and follow the facts. She should have had her account frozen by these new standards. And the other thing is, what were they thinking allowing Instagram to be bought by Facebook? What were they thinking to let Google buy YouTube? So you have these emerging platforms, and they go, okay, you're so good, I'd like to buy you, and then let it happen.
I wasn't going to do a live stream today because I'm watching my youngest nephew, but I said, nah, he's doing his school thing, so.
So Parler, the #1 in the App Store, so let's combine to destroy Parler. And when they try to sue, legally, they're not going to be able to marshal the legal defense to fight us because we are behemoths. So let's hope they get online again quickly. I think the new #1 app is Signal, which allows you to text other people, and nobody can ever see it because WhatsApp is now giving up their technology. Well, who owns WhatsApp? That tells you a lot about it.
Oh, thank you.
8:16 here in New York City, and Jillian joins us right now with more.
That's right. Good morning. And we begin with this. More than 170 people are charged in connection to the Capitol riot. Federal officials warned it was, quote, only the beginning, as the number is expected to run into the hundreds. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer wants riot suspects placed on the no-fly list, calling them insurrectionists and threats to the homeland. No word if the FBI will follow through with the request.
Hello there, Mr. Guy.
Health Services Secretary Alex Azar
How are you today?
to start vaccinating people 65 and older for the coronavirus. Those under 65 with at least 2 medical conditions are also eligible. The directive comes as the government is set to release a large supply of doses it had been withholding to ensure that vaccinated Americans got their second dose. Homicides are soaring in Seattle as the city's police chief confirms the deadliest year in 26 years. The city of Seattle revealing detectives investigated 50 murders last year. The top cop revealing the 61% increase in deadly violence over 2019 when there were 31 murders. And now to this, lottery players still have a shot at the Mega Millions jackpot. The drawing ending without a winner last night, but 9 players came pretty close. The jackpot soaring to $750 million. That next drawing is Friday. Meanwhile, tonight's big Powerball prize stands at $550 million. And I always want to win, but I never play. So I'm one of those. They sell them in our lobby in that little convenience store. You get one on your way out.
You're going to put on a mask and go buy one.
That's right. All right, thank you, Jillian. With the House set to vote today on another impeachment of President Trump, freshman Congresswoman Beth Van Duyne warns the move is political theater. She's going to tell us why she feels that way next.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider and are only available if the provider determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription requires a website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. news. The outrageously expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat
Well,
ED at
you
affordable
have a
prices.
good
And
day
Hims
at
makes
work
it extra
there,
affordable.
Mr.
You pay just
Guy.
$30 for a month's supply. And right now, get your first online doctor's visit totally free when you go to 4hims.com/XM. That's right, free. Zero copay, no expensive appointments, no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. Hims connects you to doctors online who can evaluate you and, if appropriate, prescribe your ED medication. And a pharmacy sends it right to your door. Hims makes it affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/XM. That's 4hims.com/XM for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/XM.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then go to Babbel.com and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then, sentences gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. Babbel is created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel, language for life. Start the new year with a new language. Get up to 60% off.
You have a good one too.
That's
Have fun at work.
Babbel.com.
Rates are at historic lows. At the same time, home values have gone up roughly 50%. Maybe it's time to put that equity to work by paying off high-rate credit
Got
cards,
my coffee.
personal loans, or remodel your house.
Hi, I'm Wesley Hoagland with Westland Financial. Let us put you in a position to do any of these things with no closing costs. All it takes is a 5-minute phone call to see how we can save you thousands of dollars a year. So call Westland at 888-615-3669. Call us at 888-615-3669.
Lennox Financial Mortgage Corp. DBA Westland. NMLS 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
Investors want upside and cash flow. The Fed is boosting realty markets now with low interest rates. Where we build, it's booming. NRIA provides monthly payouts at 10% tax deferred plus upsides to 21%, backed by $1.2 billion of development. Get a diversified 10% payout and inflation hedge protecting. Call for the math. Call 201-210-2727. An offer to buy or sell any security is only made by our private placement memorandum. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. Returns are annualized. National is a real estate development firm. See us at NRIA.net.
It's totally normal to be constipated with belly pain, straining, and bloating again and again.
No way. You could have a chronic condition called irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives to help relieve belly pain and let you have more frequent and complete bowel movements. Individual results may vary. Do not give to children less than 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess. Call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor today. You may be able to save on Linzess and make fewer trips to the pharmacy. See if you're eligible to pay as little as $30 for 90 days. Visit Linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals. SiriusXM. This is SiriusXM.
We're back with a Fox News alert. At least 5 House Republicans say that they will vote to impeach President Trump today, but freshman Congresswoman Beth Van Duyne won't be joining those 5 and calls the Democrats' rush to remove the president, quote, political theater, and she joins us now. Good morning to you, Congresswoman.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
We're doing well, thank you. Tough week, especially if you're a Republican. Why do you think these 5 have now they're not supporting them?
I think they've been very clear. We have a lot of discussions. We've had a lot of passion. We've had a lot of thoughtful debate. And each individual is voting their conscience, is voting their district, and is voting in the best interest that they believe is for the country. I happen to think that right now impeachment is a complete waste of time. I think about all the hours millions of dollars that we've wasted the last 4 years on impeaching this president. And next week, we're going to be entering, a new phase with a totally new administration, a brand new president. North Texas, we have small businesses that are going out of business. We've got restaurants that are closing that have been open for decades. We've got the aviation industry that is floundering. We've got families who are not able to put food on their table or pay for insurance. And we're going to continue talking about impeachment for a president who's going to be gone in 7 days. This is doing nothing to empower families. It's doing everything to further divide the country and further divide this Congress.
Yeah, political theater, you're calling it. Explain that.
It's not doing anything proactive. It's not doing anything that actually helps working families in a time when we need it. We just keep continuing to go back to the trough for these 30-second, 10-second sound bites that make headline news, but they're not doing anything to actually help on policy. They're not doing anything to help people. We are in a horrific time in our country's history right now. I was at the Capitol last week. That was my 3rd day on the job. I was there watching those events unfold on Fox, just like millions of people across the country. They were horrific. Right now, leaders of this country need to band together. They need to defend our democracy. They need to defend our country. And we need to speak as one. And instead, what we're doing is we are further, having a victory lap, taking a final pound of flesh. It's doing nothing to help people. And it's doing everything to just cause more division in our country. And quite honestly, the American people deserve better than that.
What about when it comes to the Republican Party? Because whether or not you support what Liz Cheney's doing, or if you support the president and you have opinions just like you do and say it's political theater, you're still conservative. The party is still conservative.
Yes.
And those folks who vote red, they love conservative values. They want that for the future of their children and their grandchildren. So what is the future of the Republican Party now?
I think we all are agreeing that we disagree on some things. I don't know that we're ever going to agree, all of us, on everything, and that's okay. Having that kind of debate, having that discussion, respectful discussion about why we feel the way we do, is what democracy is all about. Here in these great halls, to be able to have this kind of debates. But for the folks on the left who are criticizing the right's response, where were you this past summer when looters, when rioters were allowing people to die in the street and not allowing police officers to have access to them? Where were you when buildings were being shut down, when businesses were being broken into, when in August in our Capitol, when elected officials were being assaulted, when Capitol Police were being spit on and pushed? Where was your attacks? Where were your statements? I never saw them. Right now, all of us are going through a hard time trying to realize what this means for our future. Instead of having more acts that mean absolutely nothing, waste time, waste money, we need to band together and do the hard work of actually helping people that need it right now.
People are also asking, where was Twitter in May 2017 when Nancy Pelosi during the Russia investigation was saying Donald Trump hijacked the election? Where was Twitter then?
That's a great question. I mean, I had an opponent and during my campaign who said, who cares about rioters? Who cares about looting? Let them burn it down to the ground. Where was Twitter?
Right.
She never even got, there was not even a comment from any of her opponents on the Democrat side. I never heard from leadership. Let me repeat that. Let them burn it down to the ground.
Horrific.
Yeah.
No cause. Violence is violence on both sides. Thank you so much, Congresswoman, for being with us.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
You too. Forbes magazine under fire after a new op-ed warns businesses against hiring anyone who used to work for Trump or in the administration. Chairman and CEO Steve Forbes is going to respond to the backlash.
I'm giving Jeff's basement renovations 1 star. He kept asking me what's behind the walls down there. I'm like, why? What do you know?
No matter how hard you work for your small business, online reviewers will find something to complain about.
And he's like, you can trust me with the job. And I'm all like, trust?
And while Progressive can't save you from these trolls, we can help you save money on commercial auto and business insurance.
Yeah, he charged me less than he said he would, which is lying.
Get a quote online today at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliated to third-party insurers.
Are you trying to stay healthy and lose weight in what's become the new normal? Noom is here to help. Backed by science and psychology, Noom gives you the tools you need to create lasting change in your life. You won't just lose weight. You'll feel healthier, sleep better, and build better habits. So your new normal becomes your new normal. Get started today at Noom.com/serious. NOOM.com/SIRIUS. Change your thinking, change your habits, change for good. With Noom.
Owner-operators, if your engine needs an overhaul but you don't have the cash, call CAG Truck Capital at 800-932-CASH. We offer engine overhaul loans. Cummins owners call now and mention Trucks1 to receive a $1,000 coupon from CAG along with additional ISX promotional discounts at your nearest Cummins sales and service distributor location. For an engine overhaul loan over the phone, call 800-932-CASH or CAGTruckCapital.com. Must qualify, be approved for loan in order to receive coupon. Not all who apply will qualify. Wesley at IRS troubles.
Told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Coming after my house, my car. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
Wesley called Optima Tax Relief.
Oh, they were great people. Optima Tax. They know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-725-9935. 800-725-9935. Optima Tax Relief. You've loved her since the day you first met her. You've loved her through the good times and the bad. There's nothing you wouldn't do to make her happy. You may be older now, but that doesn't mean your love will ever change. Erectile dysfunction happens, and it happens to about 50% of men over the age of 40. Visit RexMD.com and show her your love has never changed and never will. RexMD.com has helped thousands of men. Here's how RexMD.com works. Just fill out a brief survey, and if appropriate, you can try a sample pack of generic Viagra, which are currently available to new customers. Your consultation is free. There's no copays, no doctor office visits, and your shipping is always free. At RexMD.com, we've made the process fast, easy, and affordable. Don't wait another minute. RexMD.com is now offering sample packs of generic Viagra. Visit RexMD.com right now. That's REXMD.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Donate your car today with 1877 Cars for Kids. We're a recognized 501c3 charity organization, so you'll receive a maximum tax deduction. What's more, you'll receive a vacation voucher of 3 days and 2 nights. Also on the web at carsforkids.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. Cars for Kids.
Streaming exclusive shows and documentaries with Fox Nation. Now we're bringing you can't miss true crime content with Fox Justice. The most deviant minds, the burning questions, and the crimes of the century. Streaming on Fox Nation. Sign up today.
Forbes magazine under scrutiny this morning for publishing this op-ed from the chief content officer threatening and editor, essentially threatening any company hiring people who work for President Trump. The magazine's editor writing, quote, "Let it be known to the business world, hire any of Trump's fellow fabulous above, and Forbes will assume that everything your company or firm talks about is a lie. We're going to scrutinize, double-check, investigate with the same skepticism we'd approach a Trump tweet. Want to ensure the world's biggest media brand, Forbes, approaches you as a potential funnel of disinformation. Fire away." Well, the guy whose name is on the door, the chairman and CEO of Forbes, Steve Forbes, joins us right now from his living room. Steve, good morning to you. Good morning, Steve. How are you? Good, thank you very much. So why is Forbes going to be investigating any company that hires these people who work for the administration? Well, unlike Twitter, media giants, and the big tech companies, we believe in diversity of opinion. That is an opinion from a person that is our chief content officer. He has his opinion. I have my opinion. Here's my opinion. This is reminiscent of what we had in the 1950s during the McCarthy era, where they blacklist Hollywood 10. People were denied to work because of their political beliefs, and there are other dark periods in our American history. So we're not going to blacklist and the like. People can express opinions. Unlike other organizations, we do have diverse opinions at Forbes, and we value diverse opinions. And I think that shows strength, not weakness. Well, he certainly is entitled to his opinion, but he's using the resources of what he calls the world's biggest media brand, Forbes, to follow these people wherever they go. He's the editor of Forbes, and he says if you hire one of these people, we're going to investigate you.
Well, this is an opinion piece. You pointed out it is an op-ed piece, and that means that it's one of many diverse opinions we have at Forbes. It's one thing to go after people who don't tell the truth, who do wrong things. Right. Quite another to go back to the kind of era we had in the 1950s with blacklists and the like. And one of the things that we have to do going forward is try to tamp down temperatures. This country has enormous challenges, enormous opportunities, but we do get these white heat moments where passions go to white heat levels. We had it after World War I.
So what's everybody up to today?
And deported without the proper procedure. We saw what happened to Japanese in California after the
hope everything is all good for you.
Pearl Harbor, shameful period of our history, 1950s, and we have to avoid that today. So people want to give their opinions about
I know,
what people
pretty
did,
soon I'll
fine,
be
but in terms of working
getting ready to go to
in
work.
terms
So
of pursuing your careers, you go right ahead. So again, we have diversity of opinion. I think that's an example of it. And by golly, I wish you could see that in universities and mass media and big tech. So this is an example of it. We have it right out there.
Good. But Steve, it sounds like not so subtle threat against private
hey,
businesses.
Rena, how you doing?
These Trump people, and we're going to investigate you. Ultimately,
I'm good, thank you.
Shouldn't these private companies be able to decide who they hire? I mean, if they
Good
hire
afternoon,
somebody,
or what? I don't know what it is where
somebody
you
else,
are,
I mean,
but good
should they be able
afternoon,
to
good
decide who they
morning.
put on their team?
I'm glad you showed
Of
up.
course they can decide who they put on their team.
And then Forbes is going to investigate that company.
Forbes is always looking at companies, but in terms of, again, in terms of
watching anything
a
good?
person expressing an opinion, that is an opinion. And he has his opinion, I have my opinion. And that kind of diversity. And so in terms of a Hollywood blacklist and the like, no, that's not going to be practiced today. It shouldn't have been practiced in the 1950s. And we, again, need this kind of diversity.
Okay, well,
put it out
good
there.
afternoon
To
to
go
you then.
after, people, he may want to do that. I don't. Others have opinions. And that's the kind of diversity and debate we need more of, not less. So we put it out there. Other organizations try to quash it, cover it up. We don't. It's all out there. Diverse opinions. What a new concept. We've got to defend the Amendment, and we're an example of it.
No, absolutely. It sounds like the two of you are on different pages. But ultimately, what you've been talking about is, we're at a transition point in our country right now. And Joe Biden's talking about unity, and so many members of Congress, after what happened last week, which was terrible, we're talking about bringing the country together. And
nothing ever exciting in the news.
This guy was saying, hey, we should unite. And what happened last week was terrible. But at the same time, don't ever let these people work.
Well, again, in terms of cancel culture, he did say in his op-ed that he's against cancel culture. I'm against cancel culture.
But isn't that what this is?
Oh, no, I'm not. No, I'm listening to the news. No, I have satellite radio on my phone, so I'm sorry, I can't see all that good.
He gave a pardon to Nixon to try to get the country to move forward. We need people to try to tamp things down. So if somebody wants to say something, fine, but we have a vigorous and open debate about it. So I've made my position.
No, I'm here with my nephew. He's doing his schoolwork, so doing it online.
What happened after Pearl Harbor? Not going to happen. So people can, in the heat of the moment, people are angry, and this is an example of it. They're outraged by what happened last week, which was unconscionable, execrable. Absolutely. But now we have to make sure we get together and move forward and allow diverse opinion everywhere, not just at Forbes.
Okay. Well, indeed. Steve Forbes, thank you very much for coming on and explaining how what's going to happen to these public servants going forward.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. 22
Thank
minutes
you.
before the top of the hour, straight ahead.
Thanks for the support.
That Orwell wrote years ago, 1984.
Everybody.
As critics say, we're living in a dystopian nightmare today. Rob Smith on the future of free speech in America.
and he is going to risk.
As soon as you arrive, you better get in touch with the people, big brother.
I think we can all agree that a lot went wrong in 2020, but you can start 2021 off right with a resolution to help protect your identity using LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. LifeLock alerts you to potential threats, and if there's a problem, US-based specialists will help fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions of all businesses, but LifeLock helps keep what's yours, yours. Get 25% off your first year with promo code COVER at LifeLock.com.
The success of Janet's meal prep business is keeping her from keeping up with customer appetites.
Paleo Prep Meals, this is Janet. Yep, you just reheat. But we actually have a wait list currently. Oh, can you hold on one sec?
She needs to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
It's the end of an era, the final year for the iconic American Silver Eagle, first minted almost 35 years ago in 1986. At 1 ounce of pure silver, the Silver Eagle is the world's best-selling silver coin, and its weight and purity is guaranteed by the U.S. government. With a new design for this coin coming out mid-year, Westminster Mint has secured a limited supply of these coins at our exclusive low price. Buy 20 in their original U.S. Mint packaging and receive an extra Silver Eagle absolutely free. 21 coins to celebrate 2021, the final year for the beloved heraldic eagle design before it goes away forever. With free and short shipping, money-back guarantee, and our exclusive low prices and fast delivery on the most beautiful collectible coins in the world, Westminster Mint. Call now, 800-647-0773. That's 800-647-0773. Buy 20 American Silver Eagles before they're gone and receive an extra coin free. 800-647-0773.
You're in good company at Creed Carrier. Take it from David Vance.
I really believe Creed wants to have the best of the best drivers out here, and they do put what they can into that to help you improve whatever way they can. Anytime I've needed to be home, never had a problem getting home.
Call pound 250 on your mobile phone, keyword Creed, to speak with a recruiter, or visit creedcarrier.com. creedcarrier.com.
Envita Medical Center is one of the world's leaders in integrative personalized oncology. And for over 20 years, late-stage and complex cancer patients have sought out Envita for a critical second opinion. When it comes to treatment, knowing how to target your cancer is everything. I'm Dr. Dino Prado, the founder of Envita Medical Center, and I invite you to discover the powerful targeted treatment options you've been missing.
I'm not watching anything.
Envita.com/fight.
I got satellite radio on my phone. That's what I'm listening to.
Celebrity Greens Tour Proven Green Complexes with everything you need to improve your short game. You'll be absolutely amazed at how naturally the ball bounces and spins.
Oh no, that's I'm drinking my coffee.
So instead of driving back and forth on the course, spend that time in your own backyard improving your short game.
Yes,
Call
radio.
my friends at Celebrity Greens.
It's on my phone. Satellite radio.
Or visit them online at celebritygreens.com.
I got the Sirius XM.
Insurance Company presents.
Okay, class, let's bump it up to 9.
Come on, Limu, keep pedaling. We got to build our endurance to let more people know that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
And of course, I like, usually if I have cable or whatever, I like watching Fox News, so.
Get a customized quote at libertymutual.com.
Yes, radio.
Fox News alert overnight. Google owned YouTube, pulled the plug on President Trump's official account, joining the growing list of online platforms.
Gotta have my coffee. Gotta have my coffee. Actually, this ain't nothing. But usually I have like 2 cups a day, 3, maybe 3.
About society completely controlled by the government is soaring on Amazon's bestseller list.
Back now, Rob Smith hosts the Rob Smith is Problematic podcast. He joins us now to react. Rob, it's one after another. The president says they're going to regret this. Are they?
You know, I think that they will eventually, because I think that the pendulum is going to shift too far, and even some people on the left are going to
I like big cups of coffee.
What's going on now? So I do a whole segment on this on this week's episode of Rod Smith. Rod Smith is Problematic, that you can all find on Apple Podcasts. But when you think about what has happened at the over the course of the past week, we've had the president banned from Twitter, banned from Facebook, banned from Instagram, banned from Snapchat. I bet you didn't even know he had a Snapchat. He did. It was hysterical. But this is sending a chilling message to free speech, and it's everything that the book 1984 is talking about. So I am not surprised that more people are discovering and rediscovering that, because it's practically what we are living in right now. And like I said, I believe
now I'm drinking water.
It's going to swing further, because you have even people like the ACLU. You can't find a group of more far-left crazies in the ACLU, and even some of them have gone on record, some lawyers for the ACLU, and have said that silencing the President of the United States have gone too far.
Rob, do you think this could possibly all be part of a master plan? Back in 2016, after Donald Trump won, and so many people said, he used Facebook so effectively, and Jared Kushner worked with the analytics and all that stuff. We can never let that happen again. And so in the run-up to the election in 2020,
what, you're listening to my radio?
Get out the word about what Hunter Biden had done and some unseemly things about Joe Biden. It's since come out. But ultimately, if that was to roadblock information about
Hey, Kelly, what did you do? Change your name?
Do you think the second half of the equation, and this was, could have been a theory before what happened last Wednesday, the other part would be to isolate him, to silo him, to deplatform him, so that you would never hear from him again?
I think so as well, but I think even more than that, it's not so much about the President of the United States, because look, President Trump is always going to have a platform to get his words and views out. It's more to silence those that have supported him over the past 4 years. When you look at the video that came out of Google, and they had that big company meeting after 2016, where these are engineers and developers who were basically in tears about the fact that President Trump had won. So this is not necessarily about silencing President Trump so much.
I could only handle one channel.
75 million people that voted for him. It's about making sure that our social media followings get throttled. I personally, I'm on Twitter at Rob Smith Online. I've lost about 35,000 followers over just the past week after all this stuff has happened. When you look at what's going on, you only see this really affecting conservatives and Republican-leaning politicians. There was a chart that came out. You see Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi. Their followings have gone way up. But on the other side, you see people like Ted Cruz. You see people like Kevin McCarthy. You see a lot of very big politicians and conservative leaders that are seeing their followings throttled. So I think that the president is actually the appetizer, but his 75 million supporters are the main course.
Yeah, scary, because if you silence conservatives and their voices aren't heard, does that mean the left media is going to control everything from here on out? Do you worry about it? You have your own podcast. How far are they going to take this? Do you worry about how it affects you?
I worry about how it can affect me right now. I'm very moderate in my speech, so I don't say crazy things. But the thing about it is that when the left controls the conversation so much that they are deciding what is too far right or what is too far whatever, and I think that a lot of people like myself, I'm an independent media person, I do a podcast, I do things like this. I think a lot of us are really worrying about the effect that it really does have on our free speech, on our right to speak freely, and the fact that so many people like me have gained followings because so many people were thirsty and hungry for a different perspective. I think that life is boring. I think that media is boring. I think that things like this will be boring if we only hear one perspective. And it really, really does concern me.
Right, especially if they throttle all competition rather than just being bigger. They just don't allow anybody else to compete. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, 13 minutes before the top of the hour. Janice Dean is poised to give us the weather. Hey, Janice, how's it?
Good morning. Everything looks good for now. We do have the potential for some stormy weather to affect portions of the Midwest over the next couple of days. See these temperatures? I mean, they look cold on the map, obviously, but across the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes, above average. But that is going to change. We are going to get some wintry weather in the forecast. The West Coast, that's where we're seeing the rain and the mountain snow. We have flash flood watches and warnings in effect. But some of this energy is going to combine with the system coming in from Canada and bring us a pretty good snowstorm for parts of the upper Midwest towards the Great Lakes, where we could see the potential for several inches of measurable snow across the area and then over the interior Northeast as we head into the weekend. So we'll watch for that. And then what's coming ahead next week? Very cold air, and that could set us up for more wintry weather, especially across the Northeast. We'll keep you posted. Steve, Ainsley, and Brian, back to you.
All right, JD, thank you very much. Hey, coming up, Dr. Mark Siegel is going to be joining us. He's going to be talking about how a number of states are giving the green light to give COVID vaccine to people who are 65. Finally. So when will you be able to get your shot? We'll tell you more about that. But first, let's check in with Sandra Smith with the preview of coming attractions right on Fox News Stream.
Hey, Steve,
I just had to get on
President Trump on the verge of becoming the first president.
another bottle of water.
The House voting on those articles of impeachment today. Brett Baer here on what we may see in the coming hours. And Andy McCarthy arguing in a brand new piece that while he believes the president has committed impeachable conduct, Republicans should not play Nancy Pelosi's games. He joins us live coming up. Busy 3 hours. Join us live from America's Newsroom, top of the hour.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider and are only available if the provider determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And hence makes it extra affordable. You pay just $30 for a month's supply. And right now, get your first online doctor's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/XM. That's right, free. Zero copay, no expensive appointments, no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. Hims connects you to doctors online who can evaluate you.
Can you hear my radio pretty good?
The pharmacy sends it right to your door.
Guys,
Hims makes it affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/XM. That's forhims.com/XM for your free online visit. FORHIMS.
I know for a while there,
Investors want
the
cash flow
speakers in my laptop was kind of crappy, so
Where we build, it's booming. They say don't fight the Fed.
hopefully you
NRIA
could hear
is
me
flowing
all
like the
right.
Fed. Obtain 10% return payouts, tax deferred, with bonuses to 21%. Don't fight the Fed. Flow with the Fed. Call 201-210-2727. An offer to buy or sell any security is only made by our private placement memorandum. Past performance is no guarantee of future results.
Oh, too loud? I'm sorry.
Real estate development fund. See us at NRIA.net.
Wesley had IRS troubles. They told me I owed them $43,000. It got really bad. I had my house, my car. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything. Wesley.
How's that? That better? I know it's kind of close to the laptop, so.
Hi, I'm Greg Miner. As the founder of a small business, I know firsthand how difficult it can be to manage the cash flow problems. When I tried to borrow money, the banks wouldn't touch me, and I got a lot of fast.
We don't have cable here. All we got is an antenna for the TV, and then we got on the one downstairs they got a fire stick. So, but other than that, that's it.
We can approve you within hours and put cash in your account within 3 days. The process is fast and easy, and the best part is that no tax returns, financial statements.
That's good. I'm glad you let me know. It was too loud for you.
Apply online at ncscash.com or call 800-368-2294. That's 800-368-2294. 800-368-2294. Loans made or arranged pursuant to a California Finance Lender's Law license. You love about trucking? Heading out on your favorite route. A good driving song. And thinking about truck insurance. Well, maybe not that last one. That's why we're here. At OOIDA, we have a full range of truck insurance products, expert advice, and customer service, helping you get the right coverage for your operation. Go to OOIDA.com because your job is to drive. Our job is to help with everything else. Extreme
HHS Secretary Alex Azar now directing states to vaccinate anyone 65 and older, as the government is set to release another large supply of doses to make sure vaccinated Americans get their second.
Yeah, they're talking about those vaccines. They want to give us one at work.
We're going to target more of those over the age of 65, and vaccines won't be held back in federal freezers. In states like
Actually, there's there's 3 of us. Two of them are working right now. Pretty soon I'll be going to work. I got my 12-year-old nephew here, but he's gonna be another hour or 2. He'll be leaving. He's doing his schoolwork right now. So. No, not yet, but I'm going to, they're talking about doing it for work because we are essential, so. You get you get it done yet? I personally, I really don't want to take it right now, only because I think they should tweak it a little bit so that it, you know, like when the flu shot first came out.
You have no idea how kids interact to this, correct? Yeah, we have to follow the science. Throughout this pandemic, there's all of these crazy ideas coming out. You know, give 1 shot instead of 2. That doesn't work. Hasn't been studied. Let's give it to kids. Well, Brian, kids under the age of 12 haven't even been studying this vaccine yet. They're just starting to get studied. We've got to wait till the end of the clinical trial. And they tend to have milder cases, and schools have done staying open as it is.
I know people who has had it, and I mean nothing's happened to them, but then you're always hearing stories, you know, so who knows. Everybody's different. I know my sister, she's talking about getting it. So, and she's, what, 70? So, she's up there. You just gotta really be careful, you know?
Here's how RexMD.com works. Just fill out a brief survey. Appropriate, try a sample package of your Viagra, which are currently available to new customers. Your consultation is free. There's no copays, no doctor office visits, and your shipping is always free. At RexMD.com, the process is easy and affordable. No way to RexMD.com is now offering sample packs of generic Viagra. Visit RexMD.com right now. That's RexMD.com.
Running a business, HR issues can kill you. Wrongful termination suits, minimum wage requirements, labor regulations, and HR manager salaries are not cheap. They're $70,000 a year. I'm Alan Jones, founder and CEO of Bambee. I created Bambee specifically for small business. Get a dedicated HR manager, craft HR policies, and maintain your compliance, all for just $99 a month. Seriously, let's change HR from your biggest liability to your biggest strength. With Bambee, your dedicated HR manager is available by phone, email, or real-time chat. From onboarding to termination, you customize your policy.
I want to be able to turn around, walk around without no mask. That's all. I can't stand walking around with these masks on.
Get a free HR audit today.
Go to Bambee.com/Fox right now to schedule your free HR audit. That's
Say hi to the world.
Hey, I only get back to school and you go by.
That's my nephew.
Grab the gauge plane, not this channel.
Prevagen, healthier brain, better life. Now
That's my nephew.
Robert Strickland is a content contributor for Prevagen and real user.
Hi, I'm Dave. I'm a physician and a small business owner.
He's actually got himself a YouTube channel.
And over that time, I bundled up a lot of personal debts with plans to expand my business over the next few months. I knew finding the right financing partner would be key. That's where Capitus came in. They listened to my situation and offered me solutions. Now, after moving my debt to a business loan, my expansion plans are right on track. They've helped thousands of small business owners like me. That's what they do at Capitus. They work to help.
Yeah, he's okay.
So if you're like me and are trying to get your business from a $200,000 business to a $1 million
Very intelligent young man.
financing solution be the right fit for you, give us a call at 800-240-6955 and speak with one of their financing specialists. That's 800-240-6955. 800-240-6955.
Well, it's going to be another historic day on Capitol Hill. We'll have all the coverage here at Fox tomorrow morning. Use that.
Fox News alert: President Trump on the verge of becoming the first president to be impeached twice. The House is gearing up to vote on a single article of impeachment, charging the president with inciting insurrection at the Capitol 1 week ago today. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sandra Smith.
Senator, good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Tracy Gallagher. As we await that vote, Republicans are split over today's proceedings. Sources tell the Fox News that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is, quote, furious with the president and believes impeachment could help purge the party of his influence. Meantime, 5 Republicans, including the third-ranking GOP member of the House,
Fox Team coverage: Jennifer Griffin is the latest on security today ahead of Inauguration Day. Right there in Park Hill, standing by with analysis on impeachment. But when you begin, the chief White House correspondent John Roberts, he's live from North Lawn Horse this morning. So, John, all that was news for the president following the riots on Capitol Hill last week. So what is next for him?
Well, that all depends on the House. Good morning to you, Sandra. Good morning to you, Tracy. We are at a real inflection point here as a nation. As you pointed out at the top of the House, votes to defeat President Trump today, and there's every indication it will. It will become the first president to ever be impeached twice. There's still no presidents have been convicted. Last night, the House voted to call on Vice President Mike Pence to revoke the 25th Amendment to remove the president from office. That sent a letter to Nancy Pelosi yesterday saying that he had no intention of doing that. In Texas yesterday, covering the border wall, the president saying he's not worried about a 25th Amendment action and slamming Democrats for trying to impeach him again.
The 25th Amendment is of zero risk to me, but will come back to haunt Joe Biden and the Biden administration. As the expression goes, be careful what you wish for.
Well, I'm glad you guys all came and stopped by, and I appreciate all the help, all the support.
Which is very dangerous for the USA, especially at this very tender time.
Well, the president most likely will be gone from office by the time that a trial could be held. The Senate House Speaker Nancy Pelosi insisting that impeachment is extremely important.
The president's actions demonstrate his absolute inability to discharge the most basic and fundamental powers and duties of his office. Therefore, the president must be removed from office. Removal of the president is an unprecedented action, but it is required. The party is an unprecedented, it is an unprecedented moment.
Hey, anytime. Are you kidding? I like watching your live streams, so you're so happy. I wished I had half that energy.
Florida Congressman Byron Donald really heaping a lot of criticism on his colleagues who voted in favor of impeachment this week. There have been no hearings. There's been no ability for him to defend himself. Never allowed anybody in the United States to be convicted on a trial with an opportunity to defend themselves. The president has not had it. And for 5 Republicans to go along and agree with this, it's just flat out wrong. It's wrong for the party, it's wrong for the nation. And another one, the president for 2 weeks, he was even saying, but in light of concerns, 7 days rather, saying in light of concerns about the
Well, I think I'm going to actually cut this one short, guys. I really appreciate all the support. I'll be back tomorrow morning, so about the same time, 7:45, 8 o'clock, something like that. So I'm really glad you guys stopped by because it really gets tiring talking to yourself. Sure. Always, Rena. All right. See you tomorrow. You guys all take care. I'm going to cut this one short now. And see you tomorrow. Who knows? I might even make a video later on. I don't know. Love you too, sister. Rena. You take care. Later. Later, guys. Bye. National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin live for us on Capitol Hill.